Thank you, Brenda, and thank you for allowing me to say a few words before your program. Let me first start out by congratulating all of you who have made this journey to become naturalized American citizens. It is a great accomplishment, and I want to extend my congratulations to all of you. Now, I'm going to ask you a question. I know you probably said all the tests are over with, but I'm going to ask you one question. What do I and those of you who are being naturalized today have in common?
We are American.
We're Americans, but besides that, what do I and you have in common? Well, I'll tell you. Right to vote, that's true. Now, let me tell you, maybe because I'm in a suit and I don't have an accent, but I wasn't born in this country either. I was born in Italy. And I came to this country when I was a young man, about 3 years old, so that's why I don't have the accent. But I came here with my family in 1958, and we settled in the city of Stamford, Connecticut, where I still live. And I wanted to point that out because you and your children have the ability in this country to be anything that you want to be if you work hard at it. Now, I know you're saying, well, what is he talking about? But you do. And I can tell you that my parents, and myself, I never thought in my wildest imagination that I would aspire to be the lieutenant governor of this great state. But this country and this state gave me the opportunity to do that. Because if you work hard, you study, you do the right things, good things happen to good people. And so you all have sacrificed so much to get here. I know that test was probably very difficult for some of you. See, I had it very easy because when I went, quote unquote, for my test in 1965 in Bridgeport, Connecticut, I already spoke English. I think I was in the 3rd or 4th grade. So, I knew some of the things that came secondhand to me that you probably studied, because I remember my mother, when she became a naturalized citizen, that I would quiz her on things like, who was the first president and what is the Bill of Rights and all those things that are important. And so that was a difficult journey for you, but we must remember, as important as your journey was to get you here to become naturalized Americans and to be proud of this country, please always remember those who have come before you, that have served this country in the military, that have served this country in government, that have built these cities, many of them from immigrants like you, for the sacrifices they have made to make this a country where we have the liberties that we have. And please, if you can walk away from anything today, please walk away with knowing that the liberties that we have aren't free, that they were earned by many people before us, and they will be protected by many people after us. And it is incumbent upon all of you, never forget from where you've come from, because that is who you are. But always remember who you are today as an American, because there are many people who wish they could be Americans, and you have that great opportunity. So I wanted to stop by, congratulate all of you for such hard work and being here, and I'm so proud that you join me as a naturalized American, and hope that someday one of you or one of your children will be standing before me and speaking to me about the great accomplishments and things that they have done in this country. So congratulations, and God bless all of you. Have a great day.
Good morning. It's my great pleasure to welcome all of you, applicants, family members, and friends, to Hartford Public Library for this morning's naturalization ceremony. Today marks a significant milestone in the lives of our applicants. Each of you has a story about coming to America, and you are adding to it today, becoming an American citizen. I hope in the near future you will also add your first day that you vote. My coming to America story took place in 1975. I was a young teenager whose knowledge of American history was primarily framed by the migration of Europeans to this country. the explorer Christopher Columbus, who sailed across what was thought to be a flat, endless sea and didn't find the end of the world, but a new land. Also, the Puritans and the Pilgrims, whose religious convictions led them to flee England and settle in colonies in New England. And of course, the millions who came through Ellis Island after the Industrial Revolution to find prosperity. Like those who came before me, I arrived by boat. My vessel, an ocean liner, was somewhat cushier than the stories that I had read about. However, I can tell you that after 5 days of high seas, that I was no less grateful for the sight of land and the magnificence of the Statue of Liberty welcoming me to New York City's harbor. I knew I had come to live among people who were independent, fiercely adventurous, courageous, and brave. I know in order for each of our candidates to have made the journey to this day, that you carry with you this same spirit. It is the spirit of the people of America that you join. This library, and in particular, the Hartford History Center, is filled with the stories of men and women like you, for whom the principles of individual equality and freedom are worth living, fighting, and dying for. This nation's public libraries are profoundly committed to democracy in providing free and open access to information and ideas for all. We invite you to return here over and over again to explore our many treasures. We are honored to serve for today's naturalization ceremony. I will now turn the proceedings over to Ethan Enzer, who's the Field Officer Director for the United States Citizenship and Immigration Services. Thank you, Ethan.
Thank you, Ms. Benedict, and welcome all of you to a very special event for those who are about to take the oath of allegiance to become new citizens of the United States. It's an honor to be able to stand here and present what would be an exciting ceremony in any other environment, but it made even more meaningful by the fact that we're about to convene a special session of the United States District Court in order to confer the oath upon you. Just a couple of remarks attendant to today's event, and that is, of course, congratulations to all of you who are about to take the oath today. It's just a great moment in your lives. We get excited each time that we can come and participate in a special oath ceremony, and to do so with our partners here at the Public Library of Hartford is even more special because of the excellent outreach programs that are maintained through the Hartford system as well as the state library system as a whole. The Hartford History Center, in conjunction with the American Place program, is really at the vanguard of providing immigrant information and assimilation courses to enable you to get to this stage where you are today. Many people come to this country with essentially no knowledge of English or civics, and some don't even read or write too well. Others come already equipped from their home countries with a great deal of education and also take advantage of the services of the library, as we do as private citizens, to enrich our lives, and I hope that you'll continue to do that. Library resources in the United States are bountiful, they're free, and they're accessible, and this is a real great pillar of our democratic system that we have these services to enjoy. I'd also like to make mention to those of you that are going to take the oath this morning that members of the Hartford Public Library staff will be available after the ceremony is complete. There's going to be a reception nearby on this floor, and they will provide you, those new citizens, with applications for U.S. passports. I also understand that there should be some personnel available, possibly from the state registrar of voters, is that right, Ms. Beisowitz, to provide you assistance in getting your voter registration underway. I don't want to steal Ms. Beisowitz's thunder. She's a keynote speaker, but I just wanted to lay out for you that we have more for you than just making you citizens today. It's the full package. So without further ado, I would like to introduce to you now Ms. Deborah Candy, who is the Deputy Clerk of the Court, who will convene the special session of the United States District Court. Thank you very much. Ms. Candy.
Would you all rise, please? The Honorable United States District Court. Oyez, oyez, oyez. The Honorable United States District Court for the District of Connecticut is now open. All persons having cause or action pending, or who have been bound or summoned to appear herein, will take due notice hereof and give attention according to law. You may be seated. Mr. Arnold, would you please come forward and present the motion?
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, Mr. Arnold.
I am Officer Preston Arnold, a designated examiner with United States Citizenship and Immigration Services within the Department of Homeland Security. Your Honor, there are a total of 24 individuals present in the court today who have been approved for United States citizenship. 4 of these individuals have requested name changes. We request the court approve these name changes and administer the oath of allegiance to our new citizens.
All right, there are 18 countries represented by these 24. Would you all please rise, those of you who seek citizenship? All right, you have your oath before you, I hope. All right, say after me as I say it line by line. I hereby declare on oath that I absolutely and entirely renounce and abjure all allegiance and fidelity to any foreign prince, potentate, state or sovereignty, of whom or which I have heretofore been a subject or citizen. That I will support and defend the Constitution and the laws of the United States of America against all enemies, foreign and domestic. That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same. That I will bear arms on behalf of the United States, when required by the law. That I will perform non-combatant service in the armed forces of the United States, when required by the law. That I will perform work of national importance under civilian direction, when required by the law. I take this obligation freely, without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion. So help me God. You are now citizens of the United States. Sit down and relax. I'm just going to be very quick because you're going to hear remarks from people who will be very significant for you to hear from. I just want to say 2 things. One, I know I'm preaching to the confirmed because a lot of you come from places where you couldn't register and vote. But now you're in a country where you've come presumably because you do want to register and vote. So register and vote. There'll be people here today to help you do that, to register. Now, Susan Beisowitz will tell you, because she's an expert in these things, we are not very good in off-year elections. Our turnout as Americans in voting in off-year elections is pretty dismal. We're very good in presidential election years, as we had last year. So you can help us get out and vote this year. There are elections. There are elections in the towns and the cities for mayors and what we call in Connecticut the quaint selectmen. We have boards of selectmen that take over the functions of mayors in cities. And we have some governor elections also in the off year. So this gives you a chance to sort of get geared up. You can go into the polls, find out where your poll is, and vote for these local people, and that'll get you all set for the following year, 2010, when we will have the whole Congress and 1/3 of the Senate. So I hope you will do that. Take that very seriously, and I'm sure you will. You probably will do much better than we do, percentage-wise. Secondly, I'm not in a courtroom. Usually I do these ceremonies in a courtroom. And we have a jury box there. And I always point to the jury box and say, I hope that you all will come and serve on our juries, because that's how we operate here. As you know, you've got your booklets. We have a three-part system of government: executive, legislature, and judiciary, and we need respect for all three of those parts of the government. And you can help us keep respect for the judiciary. We have very emotional cases these days, a lot of civil rights cases, and it's helpful to have 12 people or 8 people in a civil case decide those cases. Half the people who come before us have to lose. So it's much better to have that decision made by 8 or 12 people than is one person who can be considered to be blind or stupid or corrupt. When you get used to our sports contest, you'll see that in full action. But it is always better to have a consensus. So I hope you'll do that for us also. You have a very good program today, so I will step aside and later reappear when we hand out the certificates.
Lieutenant?
To assist with the opening ceremonies are members of the 1st Company Governor's Foot Guard. At this time, will you all please rise for the presentation of our nation's colors. The Governor's Foot Guard was originally established in 1771 to escort and protect the Governor, as well as members of the General Assembly. Over the years, our charge has become more ceremonial in nature, but the men and women remain committed to our traditions. The 1st Company Governor's Foot Guard is the oldest continuously serving military unit, with over 238 years of service to our nation in the great state of Connecticut.
Present.
At this time, I'd like for all of you to remain standing. I'm calling now upon Honorable Veronica Ari Wilson, the Hartford Chamber, Hartford Court of Common Council, to present our Pledge of Allegiance. Ms. Ari Wilson.
Good morning. It gives me great pleasure to join you here once again this morning to present the Pledge of Allegiance. But just before we do that, I just want to say that, give you a little history, quick history on the pledge, that it was originally written by Francis Bellamy, who in 1892, and Francis was a Baptist minister. The pledge was changed a little in 1923 when at the National Flag Conference, the words were added, the flag of the United States of America. And then in 1954, under God was added to the pledge, and it's now known as a patriotic oath. So if you will join me, whenever the pledge is being recited, you take your right hand and you rest that on your left breast. And I think all of you have the pledge. If you'll join me, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic stands one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
At this time, I'd like to call on Mr. Tao Nguyen from the Greater Hartford Academy of the Arts, who is going to render us our national anthem. Tao?
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous flight o'er the rampart we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bomb bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
And a trail. Forward. March.
Thank you all. Please be seated. At this time, I'm going to call on our keynote speaker, the first one. Many of you may know her already from her public office here in the state of Connecticut. It's our Secretary of the State of Connecticut, Ms. Susan Bysiewicz. Ms. Bysiewicz?
Ethan, thank you so much, and thank you for letting me celebrate this very happy occasion. I'm delighted to be here to help celebrate our new citizens. Today we have 24 people from 18 different countries, and you have taken that final step toward becoming a citizen of the United States of America. Congratulations, and thank you for choosing our beautiful country as your home. You know, our country was founded on immigrants just like you from all over the world. We need your enthusiasm, your ideas, your energy, and your incredible work ethic. I always like to point out our beautiful state flag, and perhaps could you just walk over to the blue flag and unfurl it so you can see it. I want to show you this because the motto on it in Latin is translated to, "He or she who is transplanted still sustains." So that is a beautiful motto for our state, because our state has always been a destination for immigrants, and is this diversity that makes us a strong and wonderful state. Now, you just took an oath of office, which is very similar to the oath of office that I took when I was sworn in as Secretary of the State. I swore that I would uphold the laws of our state and our federal government just as you did. I want to congratulate you for your incredible courage. We can't even imagine what you went through to make it to this day, but we are so inspired by you. I know I'm on a high every time I watch new citizens take the oath of office. I am the very proud grandchild of Greek immigrants and Polish immigrants, and I proudly am the Chief Elections Officer for the state of Connecticut. And my message to you today is very simple. take advantage of the most precious civil right that you have as citizens, and that is the right to make a difference, the right to choose our future by voting. Your voice matters and makes a difference. And let me give you an example. There were two races. One for the United States Congress in 2006, where Joe Courtney won by just 83 votes out of 300,000 cast. Isn't that amazing? And then my friend April Capone, who won the mayor's race in the town of East Haven by just 21 votes, with more than 10,000 votes cast. You matter, your voice will be heard, and I promise you in our state, I will count every vote that is cast accurately and fairly. So with that, I want to thank you again for choosing our country, and remember this, we had a historic and exciting national election where the son of an immigrant from Kenya became President of the United States. Anything is possible in America and in Connecticut. God bless all of you and our beautiful United States of America. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Beisowitz. At this time, I would like to call upon Ms. Linda J. Kelly, the President of the Hartford Foundation for Public Giving, for her remarks. Ms. Kelly?
Good morning. And let me start by saying congratulations. This is a wonderful, wonderful day. And I'm so pleased that I am privileged to be a part of this very great ceremony. Today you join more than 16 million people in the United States who have chosen to become citizens. And I'd like to share with you a few words that were spoken by our President Obama at a similar ceremony just a week ago. For more than 2 centuries, this nation has been a beacon of hope and opportunity, a place that has drawn enterprising men and women from around the world who have sought to build a life as good as their talents and their hard work would allow. And generation after generation of immigrants have come to these shores because they believe that in America, all things are possible. And I'd like to share with you 2 stories of individuals like yourselves who came to this country, made a way for themselves, not only for themselves, but paved a way for others in this community. I represent the philanthropic community, the nonprofit community, so this story will resonate. The words of President Obama describe Daniel E. Murphy, who sailed from Ireland to Boston in 1895 at age 16 with $1 in his pocket. They also describe a then 19-year-old waiter named John Dangus, who came nearly 100 years ago to Hartford from Greece without a penny to his name. Mr. Murphy and his family ran a company that manufactured electrical products, and Mr. Dangus worked all his life as a waiter in a Hartford hotel and restaurant, but he saved his money and he invested wisely. 2 very different life experiences bound together by all that America has to offer. As a result, today, the organization that I represent, the Hartford Foundation for Public Giving, was the recipient of very generous gifts from these 2 men who became United States citizens. They and their descendants left behind monies to support programs to improve the lives of people in this region. Programs such as the American Place that I believe many of you participated in right here at the Hartford Public Library. We were privileged to be able to fund a part of that program. It's that kind of work, that kind of charitable work that goes on all across America. I will close by simply again congratulating you, welcoming you as citizens of this country, and looking forward to sharing with you all that America has to offer. You in this room now are clearly the face of America.
Thank you, Ms. Kelly. That was wonderful. Now, at this time, I want to guide us into the next stage of our event. We're nearly done, but there are a few things still left to be attended to. The most important piece to us is to present and hand out the certificates of citizenship and naturalization, rather, to those new citizens who have taken the oath here today. We'll be calling your names one by one to have a chance to receive your certificates individually, also with a chance to meet with our distinguished guests and with His Honor, Judge Edgington. But before that happens, I've always been remiss in doing this little protocol. I think it's appropriate that we ask the clerk of the court, Ms. Candy, to officially close the court ceremony that we have today. Following the presentation of your naturalization certificates, there will be a reception. I believe it's going to be out in the front hall, but I'm not exactly certain where it's set up. Downstairs one level? Okay, that's an update, that's good. So without further ado, I'll call upon Ms. Deborah Candy, who is going to officially close the session of court this morning. Ms. Candy?
Oyez, 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 the Honorable United States District Court for the District of Connecticut now stands adjourned.
Thank you very much. Could I call upon Mr. Preston Arnold? Mr. Arnold will be reading out the names of those who have taken the oath of allegiance today, and will get you on your way to a special handshake and a congratulatory note. Thank you. Mr. Arnold?